I woke up today. I'm gonna give you my real and raw, exactly how I felt, good and bad this morning, almost instantly. I woke up and the first thing I thought was, I feel like I just had a breakup. Like I just broke up with somebody that I love. And I did. I did just break up with somebody I love because I put in, well, I some of these platforms are streaming yet and I haven't shared with everybody yet. So I can't. I did just have a breakup though. I did just have a breakup. That I'm gonna be sharing more on here coming up. I'm not totally ready to just share it out there completely public. But I had a breakup recently and my heart broke for the first few seconds. And then I thought, yeah, but I am stepping up to another purpose in my life, I believe, bigger purpose, and one where I can put my family first. I can be able to completely be there with my family when they need me, when my son has something going on in school, take him to school, pick him up from school. I'm moving into this transition in my life where that is possible. And it's so funny because yesterday I almost didn't do the breakup that I'm not sharing on Zooming on 5 different platforms yet. And the I literally almost stopped myself. And as I'm sitting here, I'm like, why in the world did I almost stop myself? Why did I almost stop myself? So I feel like we've been on a journey talking about fear here lately, right? And how it can stop you. And often on the other side of that is the best thing you can think of. The best. And I'm sitting, I'm like, I have so much freedom now. I have not quite yet, but really close. And I'm like, I chose my family. I chose being able to make my own rules. Like I bought another course this morning. I was laying in bed because that's what I tend to do is I practice what I preach. I'm not just telling y'all this because, whatever. I literally I invest in myself and learning constantly. I told my husband, I was like, I'm learning another income stream. So I'm like, you need to be able to make sure you stay focused and do the things you need to do. But this one's gonna be really easy for me to implement because of my license and everything. But and it's going to help me a lot in like going forward and teaching my people who are in my passion to profit and my other courses and stuff like that. So it's going to be really beneficial to everybody. So I went ahead and purchased it, and I'm going to be disseminating out that information here pretty soon. But I'm rambling, and I'm sorry. My biggest point here is that you need to figure out if you are currently living. So we talked about, the fear, and does that fear, that's what I did yesterday. That is literally what I did yesterday, guys. I wasn't just sharing random information that doesn't actually amount to anything. I literally used the same training that I gave you all yesterday to apply to my life that day for one of the biggest decisions I've ever done in my life. And I had to decide what is allowing me to fill up other people's cup and what is filling up my cup, what is backing my values the most and what isn't, what is allowing my values to flourish and what isn't. And when it comes down to it, I was terrified, especially, I mean, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I've been excited about the economy change, not because I want to see people, not doing well, not because of that at all, but because I see the opportunity and I know that my family and I are positioned to where we can do well at this. And I know how to position things online, and that I'll be able to find the holes that open up during a depression, and I'm going to teach my people how to do that same thing. So I'm kind of excited about that because there's a lot of opportunity for us in that regard. But I really had to decide, like, is this my true self or my deceived self? Is this something that's just keeping me safe, and is it just keeping me comfortable enough to not change? Or is this something that is detrimental to me if I make that change? And I mean, it was just a complete piece of, this is something that is keeping me. If I don't make this change, if I don't step on the other side of fear, I will be living just comfortable enough to never change, to never go to what I am most fully capable in working through him. And the thing about that is that your true self, it will always be looking at what's in it for me. Or no, I'm sorry, your deceived self, always like, what's in it for me? What's the best outcome for me? Your true self is going to be looking at what's the best, what's the greater for the most good, what's the most good for the greater amount of people, and what is going to help pull forward, his mission and helping other people. And I was restricted. I was restricted in my current role in life, and I wasn't able to help the most amount of people. I wasn't able to help my family first, my be able to do the missions that I want to do. I was restricted in all of those things, and now that decision, that fear-based decision, because yeah, the economy's a little bit scary right now, um, or that fear-based, holding me back to not make that decision would have kept me there. Would have kept me where I can't help the greater the good. And that's where you have to find out, like I said, go back to your values, find out, is this just fear or is this legitimate? And then on top of that, find out, is this my true self or my deceived self? Because if you're helping, if your mission, I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do great things if you aren't, if you don't believe in God, but I will tell you that if you pull him into the equation, it is going to be so much more awesome. It is going to be so much bigger than you can even fathom. It is going to completely revolutionize what you actually can do. And it's going to blow your mind. It's going to absolutely blow your mind. So the true self, I was talking about that, and I just have another minute and then I got to jump off of here. But, the deceived self, we're always trying to be good. We're always trying to be enough. We're always doing the things because we don't feel like we're enough. We're getting the next degree. We're jumping into the next thing and doing that because we don't feel like we're good enough. Whereas the true self knows that only God is good and that none of us are perfect. None of us are really, that great. We all have so many things about us that are not good. But we're always striving to allow him to work through us. It's not an us thing. It's not us being holier than thou, because we are not holy. The Lord is holy, and that's your true self. And are you working through that? Are you working through that? The deceived self is going to create an image and defend it. Oh gosh, that hits me personally so hard. The deceived self is going to create an image and defend it. I've done that for so long. I've done that for so long. The professional, the person who was top of the class, who was getting the awards at all the ceremonies. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was so much important to me. And it was hard for me to break out of that. That was one of the things that stopped me in the beginning from starting my own business, is that I was afraid of breaking that, cracking that image of being a solid professional and somebody who's not on social media. And it was hard for me. It really was. But that's truthfully a deceived self. And isn't that something that almost seems counter to us, because we think, well, but being a professional is, the pinnacle. And it's not, because you're putting yourself up there on that pedestal. You see what I'm saying? The true self is so secure that there's no need to defend themselves or reason to be offended. That was a breakthrough for me in my journey a while back. Whenever I I humbled myself into realizing I can be wrong and that's okay. And I can be wrong and I can admit that. I can not be perfect and I can admit that and be okay with that, and humble myself and know that there's no reason to defend that, because I'm just going to try my best. I'm just going to do my best. And I'm going to allow him to work through me. And whenever I see those miracles, I'm going to give it to God, because I don't want that pressure. I don't want the pressure of it being a me thing and having to reperform that and reprove, that it wasn't just coincidence. That is so liberating. It is so liberating. And that's something that I used to think that the religion seemed like it was just knocking us down. And I didn't understand it from that perspective until I really and truthfully knew God. And it's liberating, and it can literally it will, not can, it will completely change your life. And I'm like, I literally woke up this morning with a horrible feeling, and my ego stepped in, and it's like, you gave up your entire dream and what you had like built your image upon. And then I'm like, but I'm free. I'm now free to do the things that are going to inspire others, that are going to allow me to help the most amount of people for the greater the good. That's incredible, guys. That is living. I don't know. You're gonna be on this journey with me. You're gonna be on this journey with me, because it's just starting out. And I've, I've been talking about it and saying that this is the route. I knew this is where it was going. I knew that what I teach can get me to where I'm at now. I share this with other people, but I practice it myself, and I knew that it could get me to this place. I knew it. I saw that vision. I knew that it could, and it can for anybody who meets the criteria in it. So I hope y'all are having a blessed day. I'm pretty excited about today. I hope you are too. I want to just, after this call, I'm going to go to my office. I'm going to pray blessings over all of you who are watching this. And I'm actually kind of doing that right now. I want everybody to have an amazing, beautiful day and feel uplifted and inspired. And I just pray that everybody here is going to, and everyone who is this video has touched or has reached out and who's been there with me. I just want to thank you, and I want to pray for everyone who's on my platforms and supports me and reaches back out to me and gives me that feedback. And I pray blessings all over you, and I just pray that you're going to live your truest self, and that today, if there's any fear that blocks anybody here, that they go to the other side of it and they actually feel that amazing, incredible thing in their life, and they're able to fulfill and live their true self and live based off the values that really and truthfully are nearest and dearest to them. So I love you all. Thank you, and many blessings, guys. I will